Hello and welcome to the wrap-up on UCFM, your Thursday guide on all the latest in clubs, news and events from across UC's Bruce campus. It's week 8 of semester 1. I'm your host Ben and I'm joined once again by Tobias. How's it going, Tobias?
Yeah, it's going pretty well.
Are you excited for the break week to come up?
I'm pretty excited. I've got some stuff lined up that I've been trying to get done.
Certainly. I have maybe a couple lectures that I need to catch up on, so very excited for that. Let's not talk about that. Well, on today's show, we'll be chatting with Dr Ehssan Sakhaee about UC's new Student Leadership Academy, and later on we'll be sitting down with Piranha's UC in our weekly Student Society Spotlight. We'll also have the latest UC news and a weekly events guide.
Before we get into it, just a reminder to follow our socials at UCFM_87.8 to keep up to date with everything happening. And join in the conversation today by sending us a message during the show on our text line at 0415 774 405.
And if you aren't already, you can tune into UCFM live and from anywhere by downloading the iHeartRadio app. Now, without further ado, let's wrap things up. Well, to start this week's show, we're joined by Dr Ehssan Sakhaee, the program lead for the Student Leadership Academy. How's it going?
Good, thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, just to start us off, for anyone who isn't aware, what is the Student Leadership Academy?
So the Student Leadership Academy is a new initiative at UC where students can join and basically develop their leadership skills and get involved in different interdisciplinary projects. And really it's about building a community where students can basically work on meaningful projects and make a difference. So it's very much to support that kind of initiatives.
Yeah, and how did you get involved in creating the academy? Sorry.
Okay, so it's something where I've been involved in teaching and education of leadership development for the last 12 years. Originally, I was at Sydney University, where I was director of the leadership program there, and then taught subjects in leadership at UCLA at Sydney, and just moved to Canberra a couple of years ago. So I thought, we need to do something here as well. So the idea came out of conversations with students and staff at the university, and we basically did some surveys around what students want in terms of leadership development and personal development and things like that. And out of that, we had some sporadic kind of workshops happening over the last couple of years, but then now we've kind of formalized it into an academy where we can actually have students join from across all faculties, basically open to all UC students.
Yeah, and what sort of stuff are students participating set to learn during the academy?
So this year, for instance, we've got 8 workshops. And each workshop addresses a particular kind of leadership development framework or focus. So where the 3 themes are leading self, leading others, and leading change. So we start with that leading self. So it's all about self-awareness, self-understanding, and managing ourselves and leading ourselves, essentially self-leadership. And then once we've cover that, then we'll move on to leading others, which is around communication. How do we empathize? How do we lead a team? So it's more around leadership of communication, relationships, and then we move on to leading change, which is around so how do we make a difference to the world, not just individually but collectively. So it kind of goes through those 3 themes, and obviously we also have projects that students can work on. It's very much interactive. It's very much just a community. It's an environment where people can just work together and share ideas and learn.
Yeah. And something that I found quite interesting is you do plan on having a few guest speakers attend. How do you choose which guest speakers you're going to bring on, and are you excited for anyone in particular?
I think that's a really important one, and I actually had a conversation with our alumni team today about who can we bring on, and I think the main idea is the core component of the academy is around creating the kind of leadership that we need to actually save us from this chaos that we're in at the moment. So it's very much around servant leadership, custodianship, and just taking care of people and the planet. So if someone is out there who is a leader, who is inspiring, who, has a vision to create a better world, we love to have them on to bring them and inspire our students and talk about their journey and how we can actually learn from them. Absolutely.
Yeah, and another thing I noticed, which was quite interesting, is the team who's leading it. Obviously, you're at the head of that. Quite a few people from across different faculties. How did you put that team together that's leading the program?
Absolutely. I think the most important thing was that it's interdisciplinary. It's not just so I'm from SciTech myself, but I really wanted to bring people from across the university. So it was around who's the most engaged, who's passionate, who wants to make a difference. So we kind of sent out like an expression of interest of who wants to be involved, and it wasn't just at our faculty, it just went through university-wide, through our colleagues, other students, and basically people just submitted expressions of interest, and we looked at what the vision is, and basically picked out of that. So yeah, it's very much, we've got students already from across all the faculties, which is fantastic, which is we really wanted anyway.
Yeah. And what do you see for the future of this program? Are you hoping to run it again?
Yeah, so essentially what we want continuation. So those who graduate from the program this year, so they go through the 8 sessions, then we'll have an advanced program for them next year, so they can be more involved in project-based work. And so throughout their time at the university, we want them to be involved in the academy. So it's not just, it's just for like 6 months or 1 year, but actually we want them to be part of the community and also mentor the juniors who actually join. So we want them to become leaders of new initiatives and take on leadership roles, and then also support them have coaching and mentoring as well as part of that. So we've got many student leaders at the university making a difference. We want to be able to support them as well. And after that, we want to also have some kind of an alumni community as well, so that once they leave, they actually continue being part of a leadership academy. No longer student leadership academy, but a leadership academy. So we're working on that at the moment.
Yeah. And do you have for anyone who might be interested, do you have any particular type of student in mind? Not necessarily discipline, but I guess mentality, someone who might be good for this sort of program? Yeah,
absolutely. I think the most important thing is the mindset. So the mindset is about really wanting to make a difference. So a caring, compassionate kind of mindset where there's a sense of care for people and the planet. How do we make a difference, not locally but globally? And also a mindset that we do see our interconnectedness with each other, with the planet. There is a lack of understanding of some of these fundamental understanding in our leadership today. If you look at our politics, if you look at in organizations, it's all about me and mine, and how do I, it's very competitive. There's very little about how do we actually work together to make a difference, and how we can create well-being for ourselves, others, and the planet. So there's a focus on well-being as well in the program, and we're actually looking at how do we measure the impact of the program on students. So we kind of sending out research surveys to just do a pre-test and a post-program survey to see the difference.
Of course, yeah. And you did say you've been involved in these sorts of things in the past. What have you found from students who have undertaken leadership courses previously?
I think that's a really important one. I think everyone comes from different backgrounds, from different intentions. So it's very much, and the focus is around not just leadership skills. So it's and there are so many programs out there that focus on leadership skills, like influence and changing how people do things and behavioral change and things like that. For us, it's more around start with that sense of care. So that's what we look for if someone wants to be part of the community, and that's the communication we have with the students. Is like, if you're looking for tips and tricks, this is not the kind of community or program for you. There are a lot other things out there which also call themselves leadership programs, but there's so many different kind of programs that. So we focus around people who care, and we want to give them the support and the skills required to go out there and make a real positive difference in the world.
Of course, yeah. And for anyone who's interested in following along with the journey of the program, how can they find out more?
Absolutely. So there are posters around the university. But ultimately, you can still sign up. I mean, we had our first session last night actually, but there are still 7 sessions they can join. So there is a link bit.ly/UCSLA. They can.
That's we usually don't get links, so that's very impressive.
I wasn't sure if I can pitch that or not.
No,
but so you can still sign up and join a community, and for those who complete 6 out of the 8 sessions, we will also give them a certificate of completion.
Wow.
So that's an added bonus. But yeah, so it's open to everybody. So if that sounds like something that you'd like to join, and yeah, hope to see you there.
Of course, yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. A very interesting program to hear about. Well, I'm excited to see what happens in the future.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, it's now time for an unfortunately short UC News wrap.
Yep. Sometimes there's just not that much news out there.
Well, it's week 8, so we'll see if the break brings more news.
Oh, let's hope so. But for today, in a first for teacher training at UC, this recent graduation round saw the first degrees issued using the Faculty of Education's new micro-credital system. Micro-credentials are short courses.
That's my fault.
That's all good. Micro-credentials are short courses that offer smaller learning opportunities to students. They provide less credit than a typical unit, but are stackable towards formal qualifications. 9 students graduating from the Graduate Certificate in Education were the first education students to fulfill their credit requirements using these micro-credentials. These teacher micro-credentials were designed by Clinical Associate Professor Matthew Brown and Micro-Credentials Program Director Amy Smith. In creating each course, they hoped to acknowledge the workload of teachers. In designing the micro-credentials, it was important to acknowledge teachers' existing workload, which was already quite high, and for our programs to complement the work they're doing in the classroom, Ms. Smith said. The program has found funding from federal government's micro-credentials pilot in Higher Education Program and Catholic Education Canberra-Goulburn. There is also an expansion plan for the program in 2027.
That sounds very exciting to me. Sorry about that typo, though. Anyway.
That's all good. Yeah. I should have been ready.
No. Well, I mean, I'm just going to talk about this now because there was only one news segment, so let's stretch this. We write our script in Sheets, and Sheets doesn't have autocorrect, so... Anyway,
so is this saying something about modern society and spelling?
Exactly. Well, I think I'm famously bad at spelling. But anyway, speaking of micro credentials, let's move on from my little thing. Yeah, I mean, it sounds very exciting to me. Would you do a micro credential?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I quite like the feeling of getting like a big bulk credential, but also
I mean, I think besides just the workload thing, I guess it's meant to be sort of a targeted focus on just one specific thing, which, I mean, sounds exciting to me, especially if there's not a unit about that or something like... I mean, I think it sounds very exciting.
Yeah, I think it is very exciting. Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see if they, like, broaden it to more degrees soon.
Of course. I think there's sort of a more broad program, but... the news story was sort of focused on the teacher training specifically, which I mean, that's a very important part of the university. So yeah,
certainly is
interesting to hear.
And we're now joined by AJ from UCFM for an interview.
Hey. Yes. Well, I mean, this week on our Student Society Spotlight, I guess we have a little fun. Like a meta interview with someone sitting behind the desk, because we wanted to talk about UCFM, maybe get a few of you involved.
Yeah.
How's it going, AJ?
I'm going pretty well. Feeling pretty cruisy behind the desk today.
I mean, I guess everyone hears your voice, but they don't know how you first got involved. Ooh. Tell me your story with UCFM.
My story with UCFM. Well, I'm a journalism student here at UC. I started in 2024, and I actually didn't know that I would like radio. So the way that I actually got involved was during open day for 2023. I got pulled into the studio, I did a little interview, and I was like, damn, this is kind of fun. And then 2024 rolled around. Scott, one of the amazing journalism teachers, teachers was like, you should go to the Multicultural Festival. We can do a show together. And that's how I met you, Ben.
Yeah, well, fun. I mean, let me mention the Multicultural Festival because that wasn't the first Multicultural Festival for the OWL I was invited to. But the first one, I was too nervous to go. Oh. So that was, I guess, the second one was my introduction as well, which was very exciting.
I think we were all at that Multicultural Festival.
Oh my God, you were there. Hey, weren't you?
Yeah.
Nice.
That was so
crazy.
Fun.
It was fun.
We didn't really have much of a crossover. You were there towards the end. But that's how I got involved with radio. But then after that, Scott said, do another show. And ever since then, I've been involved with UCFM in volunteer work. And then I'm also doing paid work as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously you're a journalism student, but as far as I'm aware, I definitely am aware, the radio is not just for journalism or even communications students or even FAD students.
Yeah.
Tell me the sorts of students that we have had on the radio
running
shows.
Yeah, we have so many. As far as I'm aware, we have, students from all around campus. We have some law students, we have some in design, and we have some from all over. So it just shows that you don't have to be part of FAD or you don't have to be a comm student to be able to do radio. If you've got an interest in it and you think, let me share my music taste or let me yap a little bit behind a mic, like, you're more than welcome to. Everyone is
of
welcome. Of
course, yeah. I mean, you're even welcome to be a host on the wrap up if you'd like. We'd love to have you if you're out there.
Yeah, every Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, I do, and for anyone who's interested in getting involved but maybe doesn't want to start their own show, what sort of opportunities do we have?
Well, there are shows available already that need hosts, like the wrap up, like this one right now. But there's also things like Mixtape, which is one where you can just create a playlist and talk about your favorite songs. Love that one. Someone hosted earlier today. Shout out to Mia. She did a great job. Yep. And that was her second one ever, and she did a great job. And that's what students usually start off with. And there's also a talk show called And Now. That one runs on Wednesdays, where you can just talk about whatever you want. And that's how I got properly started. I was on the first ever episode of And Now, and that was a lot of fun. And now I'm feeling pretty confident with a mic. So if you're looking to jump behind a mic but you don't really want to start your own show, those ones are available, and you just have to complete a couple of modules on Canvas, and you'll be all set to start off being a host.
Yeah, very exciting. I mean, were you a nervous person starting on radio?
I'll tell you, I remember shaking on my first episode of And Now. I know it is a little bit nerve-wracking because you don't realize, you're like, oh my God, the whole world's listening. But once you realize you're just in a little studio and you're just talking to a mic, it's like talking to yourself.
Exactly. I think it's very fun. I remember my first time on radio. I wasn't even a host of the episode that it was Hear All About It, which is a very old. It is very old. It hasn't run in how long, but it's a news quiz show, and I had maybe one line in one episode. I said something about Eurovision. I forget what it was, but I listened back. I sounded very shaky, and I'm not gonna lie and say, like, my next episode where I was actually hosting, I was a bit nervous as well. But I mean, that's just it ends up being a lot of fun. So I think if you're on the fence, definitely get involved because it's such a fun opportunity. Yeah. And honestly, I will also say, I think every friend I have at university I met through radio.
Is that true?
It is true. Oh God, it's just a great opportunity all around. We're not a club, but I always say that we're basically a club because it's just a lot of fun.
We're a community.
Just to clarify, we're not a cult either. It sounds a little bit like that right now, but we're not. We promise.
Well,
you were speaking about being nervous as well. There are also opportunities to be part of UCFM and also not speak.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Behind the mic, you can be behind the desk like I do as well. There are opportunities for you to learn how to use the desk. Yeah,
and it's such a great opportunity to get acquainted with. If you're interested in radio at all, just take the chance because it's just an amazing way to get work experience as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and if you're interested, check out the website ucfm.com.au.
Yeah, and what's the Instagram as well, AJ?
UCFM_87.8.
Please follow us too because I've taken over the social media a little bit, and I would love to get some love on the stuff that I've been posting.
I'll make sure to repost all your content.
Thank you very much. Well, I will say that we didn't celebrate this a couple episodes when it happened, but I did recently change the wrap-up's design, which is very exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did that right when I was starting on the social media.
Okay, Queen, I will say if you ever decide to change degrees or start up a new one, you should go into design because it is very,
Thank
very
you very
good.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone check that out.
I do love it. So
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and even just that, like you can start your own social media account for your show as well.
Yeah.
And it just gives you, it's just so many branches out from being on the radio.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's
And
not
then
just
you'll be
news.
added by the amazing UCFM account, and then all those
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of followers from UCFM.
Dude.
Eventually,
straight across to you.
eventually,
Yeah, we're growing. We're growing.
we are.
Yeah, but if you guys are interested and want to be part of UCFM, I believe applications are closed at the moment for
That's okay
stuff.
though.
But you can always, I'm pretty sure that you can, for shows, but if you want to be behind the desk, you are more than welcome to. Radio hosts are wanted. So it's open to all students who are currently, studying at the University of Canberra. If you want to be a presenter and hop behind the mic, you totally can be. But contact us via our email, ucfm@canberra.edu.au if you want to chat first before submitting an application. So,
Yep, and we would absolutely love to speak to you about getting involved because we always need people to get involved.
We
don't
need more us.
We
Yeah.
do.
Little us. Anyway, yeah, that's
All of the episodes of the wrap up where I'm alone and struggling is a perfect example of that. Thank you very much.
it.
Well, my work has stopped rostering me on as many Thursdays, so
Which I'm very excited for.
This is your new work.
this is my new work.
This is it.
Well, we've been chatting for quite a long time. Maybe this was better for And Now. Check that show out. But anyway, it looks like we have yet another segment. Play the sting, AJ. Let's take a look at the upcoming events on campus. On Friday, April 10, the Canberra Student Pharmacy Association are hosting a high-stakes night with their 2026 CAPSA Ball. The theme is Casino Royale and tickets will include a dinner and drinks package, so check out their rubric page for more info and to book.
So Casino Royale, like the Bond movie.
I think so, yeah. Sounds very exciting.
That's
I wonder
pretty awesome.
I wonder if they're going to have gambling. Probably not, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, and then on Saturday, April 11th, Aussie DJ Jamo is here at UC Hub. Jamo had massive momentum last year with an official Calvin Harris remix and over 11 million streams passed. This is one that electronic fans shouldn't miss, so visit HumanTix for tickets. Also on the 11th, head to the Refectory for a Slam Pro Wrestling double feature. They'll have no disqualifications, tag team match with King's Court versus Hope and Beauty, and a Slam Championship main event with Archer versus Chambers. Get your tickets at slamprotix.com.au or check out UCFM socials to win tickets.
Have you ever been to a pro wrestling match before?
I have been at events that have had pro wrestling and I've watched it, but I've not gone explicitly to a wrestling event.
Same. And honestly, it is amazing. The names just alone are amazing. So
Yeah, although I could not tell you what a no disqualifications tag team match with King's Court
it sounds,
is.
I think from reading about it, it just means that they're going to be getting a little beyond the rules. They're going to be doing some, obviously it's not real, but they're going to be doing some dangerous things, I guess. So check that out.
That does sound like fun, and
It does.
well, I'm sure Barrett will be super excited by that.
Definitely. Well, next on the chopping block, on Monday, April 13, UCX is once again hosting Crochet on the concourse lawns. If you're looking for a relaxed way to take a break, meet new people on campus, or try something new, come along and check out UCX's Hey, Let's Crochet sessions. That was a mouthful. There will be volunteers on the day to help out with tips and tricks, so whether you're a beginner or already love to crochet, everyone is welcome. And if you're interested, come down to the concourse lawns from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. to join.
Then, on Tuesday, April 24th, and Wednesday, April 24th, April 14th, and Wednesday, April 15th, UC Life X and Surf Life in New South Wales are bringing a first aid course to UC to make it as simple as possible for students to get certified. CPR, first aid, and education and care courses are available, and certifications post-course can last up to 3 years. If you're interested in brushing up your first aid skills, or just looking to add some life-saving skills to your tool belt, check out the UCX website for more information and to get your tickets.
That's definitely a useful thing to be qualified with. I wonder why they didn't use Surf Life Saving ACT though.
Yeah, all those fantastic beaches we have in Canberra.
No, exactly. Casuarina Sands. Love it. Anyway, are you first aid qualified?
I am on the list of people to be trained at work, so
that's good.
I'm very excited because it gets you a pay rise if you're first aid qualified.
That's good. Well, I mean, I'm not, but I'm incredibly aware that it is such a useful skill to have. So just check it out, guys. Just check it out. Well, on Thursday, April 16, the UC Dramatic Arts Club will be hitting the stage for the opening night of Pride and Prejudice at the UC Theaterette. Adapted from Andrew Davies' hit 1995 BBC TV series, this delightful comedy of manners revolves around the tumultuous relationship between Elizabeth Bennet, the lively and mischievous daughter from the country, and Darcy, a wealthy and proud lord. Tickets are available now on the UCDAC rubric page and range from $5 to $15. I think it's also probably adapted from the book as well.
Yeah, quite possibly.
For the record.
Yeah. And I have quite a lot of friends who are involved in that, so definitely go check it out.
I was very excited to win the UC Dramatic Arts Society Trivia Night, and that came with 2 free tickets, so I will be going. So see me there.
Do you have a buddy yet?
Someone else on the team has taken the ticket, so unfortunately I cannot give it to you.
Devastating. I'll have to support our UC societies and give them some money.
Definitely.
All right. And finally, on Saturday, April 18th, the Brumbies are back and facing head-to-head against the Fijiana Drua at GIO Stadium. The ACT Brumbies will be hosting Fijiana Drua at GIO Stadium from 7:35 p.m. for round 10 of the 2026 Super Rugby Pacific season. UC students have the chance to score free tickets to see the match and to support the Brumbies. With only 200 tickets to give away per game, get in quick by checking out the UCX website for codes and links to get tickets.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned this last episode, but you weren't here, so I'm going to ask again. Do you know why the Brumbies, well, I guess it's just rugby in general, start their games at such specific times? 7:35 is so... I've written a couple of these now. Why is it 7:35? Do you know?
My mind is going spinning trying to think of a rationale, and I am not coming up with anything.
Yeah, well, if anyone knows, text in, because I would like to know.
And Ben, what's the number to text in on?
I think it's 0415-774405, and I didn't look.
No, I can confirm Ben didn't look, and I'm very impressed.
Well, that's all that's happening around UC, all the events. So make sure to check out the UC events page and UC socials for more info on these and to find out what else is happening around campus. And unfortunately, that's all we have time for today, but thanks for joining us on The Wrap Up.
You can listen to this episode and past episodes of The Wrap Up on our website, ucfm.com.au, or find the podcast version wherever you get your podcasts.
And there's always something happening around UC, so make sure to keep an eye out on socials and the Student Bulletin.
Don't forget to follow our socials at UCFM_87.8.
And AJ, I'm expecting you to speak at the last bit as well. We'll be back again next week to keep you up to date with what's happening around UC, but until then, that's a wrap.